Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we are here at the at City Hall for our April Human Rights Commission meeting. Welcome, everyone. I know it's been a long time since we've met, but trust that we're back and better than ever and stronger than ever. I would like to call a meeting to order and start with the roll call of commissioners. Attorney Molly McGee.
Here.
Dr. Garcia. Here. Commissioner Carew Pitch.
Present.
Vice Chair Herbie Jean Baptiste.
Here.
And me, Shema Husseini, I'm also here. And we are also joined with DEI Director Steve Morabito. I would like to also make it apparent that Commissioner Smaila Rusi is no longer with the commission. We wish her all the best, and we know that she will do bigger and better things in the future. Moving on from there, before we get into the land acknowledgement, this is something that I need to add into the agenda, so my apologies for that. But I would like for all of us to read the mission statement whenever everyone is ready. The mission of the Revere Human Rights Commission is to promote human and civil rights and empower all people of Revere by ensuring that everyone, especially the most vulnerable and marginalized, have equitable opportunities, equal access, and are treated with dignity, respect, fairness, and justice. With us saying this mission statement, we expect that all the commissioners, including myself, are held accountable to the high standards of this mission, and we encourage that anyone in the community to come join our meetings and hold us accountable for the things that we haven't done in the past, in the future, and in the present. For the land acknowledgement, so this is something that we've mentioned at every meeting, that we are in the land of the Pawtucket, and that we encourage and invite any Native peoples and Indigenous peoples in the city of Revere to join our discussion of all the things that are happening in our city. Moving on from there, I would like for someone to push a motion to approve the minutes from December 5th monthly meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All agreeing, say aye.
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 Aye. For the monthly acknowledgements, April 1st began, yesterday began the month of a variety of different things, starting off with National Volunteer Month, Earth Month, Autism Awareness Month, especially with today being Autism Awareness Day, World Autism Day. The start of Arab American Heritage Month, Tartan, which is the Scottish American Heritage Month, Celebrate Diversity Month, and April 7 will be the day of the reflection of the 1994 Rwandan genocide. April 22nd is Earth Day. And I know this was in March, but Eid, for anyone who is Muslim, celebrated Eid the past weekend. So I hope everyone enjoyed their Eid. And for those who celebrate Lent, it will end on April 17th. Right. So the first thing that on our agenda is the re-election of officers. This is something that we do once a year. Starting off with chair, is anyone, yes? Go ahead, Director.
Can I circle back? Also, yesterday was International Day of Trans Visibility, and for those in our community who are trans, the message I'd like to send to you is be who you are, you're valued, respected, and you should be treated with dignity and respect always.
Thank you, DEI Director. Can you just repeat the name of the day?
Yes, so it was yesterday, April 2nd. It was International Day of Trans Visibility.
Because I didn't find this event on the Human Rights Commission website, I'm gonna suggest to Asma if we can add that to our commission, so that to our calendar, so that next year it would be appropriately mentioned, since we didn't mention it this year. But thank you very much for that, DEI Director. Yes, go ahead, Karu.
Thank you, Chair Hosseini. I would like to add on April 13th, there will be a Cambodian New Year as well.
Thank you very much for that, Commissioner Pidge. For any events or holidays or celebrations that we haven't mentioned today, I suggest people to go to the HRC website and add those events to our calendar, just so when it comes next year, we could actually acknowledge it and, help spread the cultural awareness in our city. So thank you for that. Thank you very much, Karu Pitch and the Director, Steve Morabito. Moving on to the re-election of officers. Like I mentioned, we do this once a year for the chair and the vice chair. I actually forgot to mention this for the for monthly events. I'm gonna give this off to Karu. This is before we go into the re-election of officers, but I will give it off to Karu as soon as I introduce these events. There will be a training with Strong Oak that will be happening in the month of April, as well as a gender-based violence conference. I don't know much about that, about those events in deep detail, but I would like to pass it off to Commissioner Pitch to provide more information about those two events.
Thank you, Chair Hosseini. So on April the 11th, there will be a conference from 9 to 4 called Gender-Based Violence, and it will be at the Collaborativa in Chelsea, Harbour Cove, and the Neighbor Health, along with a few more organizations are hosting the conference. And there will be many leaders in the community and guest speakers to talk about the impact of gender-based violence, domestic violence, sexual assault, stalking, and also sex trafficking, and more. So we encourage every leader in the community to attend that conference. We will also post, Chair Hosseini, can we post the invite link, the Eventbrite link on our website so people can find it? And for the Walking in Balance and that hosted by Grandmother Strong Oak and the Visioning Bear organization, it's for next month. Yes, for May 10, 11, and 12. Thank you.
Chair Hosseini, if I can just elevate these programs, and again, Grandmother Strong Oak and everything that they have done for the community of Revere, these are really invaluable opportunities that all of us have offered to us, and that, thank you to Karu Pitch from Harbour Cove, we're able to make available to so many people from the community. Everybody's welcome. And if you're interested at all or just want to learn more, I would say checking out some of our past meetings and the work that we've done with Strong Oak would convince you of how amazing and transformative this work is.
Thank you, Commissioner Pitch and Attorney McGee. For both of these events, I know that the Walking in Balance training with Grandmother Strong Oak is indeed next month. I know that for both events that you have sent me that information, I will send it off to ESMA so that could be put on the website just so we can make it more accessible. I know that there's a flyer for the conference. I assume you would like for it to be translated in a multitude of different languages just so more people can come. Yes? Awesome. Glad we're on agreement on that. Okay, so I'll send that off to you, Asma, for that, just so that's more widely available for people to invited to and attend. Now, actually moving on to the re-election of officers, starting off with the chair. I know that I'm the current chair. So I'm gonna go up for re-election, I guess. But is there anyone else who would like and is interested in fulfilling this position as well? Well, in that case, do you all would like me to continue being the chair of the commission for the rest of the year? Raise your hand and say aye.
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 Well, it's all unanimous. I, Shema Hosseini, is the chair of the Human Rights Commission for the rest of the year. As for vice chair, the current vice chair is Herbie Jean-Baptiste. Would you like to go up for re-election for the position? And is there anyone else who would also go for the position as well? Oh, yes, Director.
Just to formalize it, can I have a nomination for Shema Hosseini? Just to make it formal.
I nominate Herbie Jean-Baptiste to be vice chair. Awesome. So it is official, according to the director, that for the rest of the year, I, Shema Hosseini, will be the chair for the Human Rights Commission. Alongside me, Herbie Jean-Baptiste as vice chair. Hopefully, we both continue working together in order to create a more fluid commission and to bring all these wonderful ideas that we talk about in these meetings to life, inshallah.
I would like to take an opportunity.
Go ahead. I feel like it's been such a long time. It's also a very short time. I think 2 years now.
It's been 2 years at this
Yeah.
point. You were vice chair before that. I want to thank you so much for your service personally, that I'm able to be a commissioner and serve under you. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's such an enjoyment doing this work with you. Thank you for being willing to be our chairperson again. I'm sorry. It's a new system. Forgive me. The light, like on versus off, the red light feels like it means stop, but red light means on. So just again, so it's clear, the years that you've been doing this, both as chairperson, as vice chairperson, elected or acting, thank you so much. It has been such a pleasure working with you, working under you, having you be our chairperson. There's been so much adversity. There's been times when it hasn't been easy. You've been a student. You've been a young person. You've been a Muslim in Revere, and I thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here with you.
Thank you very much for that, Molly. I feel like I'm at a loss for words. I don't see the commissioners as commissioners. I see them as my fellow mentors, so I wouldn't be here without all of your advice. I also want to shout out Jean, Vice Chair Jean-Baptiste, because in the time that I wasn't fully active in the commission, he really did, you really took control, and it inspired me to do better now that we're all reelected. So thank you very much for all the help that you've helped me out and helped the commission out as well. Thank you. Do you have any words, Vice Chair?
Thank you, Chair. I think, I'm very happy that you guys agreed to reappointed me as a co-chair. And then all I can say, I'm very proud, you guys has a good faith on me, put your faith on me, to renominate me. And then looking forward to work with you, Shai. And then I think we need to work together and then to do whatever we can, to improve the HRC commission, to make sure, that we provide the best for Revere community. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Go ahead, Commissioner. Go ahead, Director.
I just want to congratulate the two of you. Shema, this is your second year that you were elected as president. It's an testament to you, to the respect and that the members have for you. Also, the work that you've done and the backlash you've got by some members of the community over the years, and you stood with the Human Rights Commission, and I appreciate you for that. And I've been watching for a long, long time, and I know the trial and tribulations you've been through, and I know during the most difficult, most polarized time on this commission, you were there, and that does not go unnoticed.
Thank you very much, Director. I appreciate all the things that you've said, but you know, I'm glad that you're here with us as well. Go ahead, Commissioner Pitch.
As one of the commissioners, I am so honored and humble to work with you, Chair Hosseini, to work with the young woman under your leadership. I can't appreciate you enough, and all the work that, not only on the commissioner team, also the work that you have been doing as a young woman in a community. And that's a role model that I want to grow up, to be like you. And then also Vice Chair Baptisti, I can't thank you enough for leading us and for bringing us together for a few months. And I don't want that work to be unnoticed. And you appreciated by me as your team, your peer, and fellow commissioner, and I'm sure you are appreciated by all of our team members as well.
So I just want to join my colleagues in congratulating you for the nomination. You have been down the road with us for a long time. I remember a couple of the exchanges that took place in this chamber in the past, and you handled those with integrity and authenticity. So I want to extend my congratulations to you and keep up with the good work. Hopefully that we'll map out initiatives and things, we get our hands dirty and do the best for our community. To you, my friend, Baptiste, I also would like to extend my congratulations. Certainly in times where we did not have Shay as a leader, as a chair, you really stood up and you to the plate, and you continue to do the good work, making sure the team does not disintegrate. You know, and I truly appreciate your leadership. Thank you.
One more thing, Vice Chair Bautista, thank you so much. I hope you know how much I appreciate working with you. You have been such a quick, immediate star in the HRC, the Human Rights Commission, somebody that we needed. You stood up and showed what it is to be somebody that can come in and immediately stand up. You didn't need time to adjust. You had no time. And I thank you for everything so far. And I'm so honored that you accepted this role again. Continue to work with us, and I look forward to it.
Oh, go ahead.
I would say thank you to all of you guys. I think one thing I need you to understand, you know, as a chair and as a commissioner, my job is to be like kind of, whatever happened, I will step in and then make sure like kind of that you get the support that you need and then to support you. And then Shah, I did not say that. I want to tell you that with your young age, you know, even myself, I learned from you too, you know, by being the chairperson. And then it's good to have some kind of person who has the personality to be in the commission. Someone who's like an activist, someone like kind of who's like willing like kind of to stand up and then to fight for what you believe. And then that's what we need in HRC. And then thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone, for the kind of exchanges that we gave each other today. I know that going forward that, you know, things will be different. You know, the state of our nation has changed, meaning that the way that we think, the way that we operate will definitely change, and I know for the better. With the past couple months being as tumultuous as it was, I know that we came out a stronger commission, and that allows us to put the foundations for all the changes that we're going to do or the changes that we plan on doing and plan on implementing in the city. So yeah, I can't wait till I take that journey. I can't wait till we all take that journey together in order to make our city a better place for people to live in and thrive. Does anyone else want to add any additional marks before we move on to the next agenda item? Awesome. The next item on the agenda is the 21-day racial equity challenge. I know that this is something that the city of Revere has done throughout its all of its institutions, whether that be at the high school, whether that be at City Hall, that it's 21 consecutive days in which it'll start on April 7th, it'll end at April 27th. The whole point of the challenge is it takes 21 days to build a habit. So with the daily lessons and daily trainings, one will expect to raise their awareness regarding all the racial inequities that are either happening municipally, statewide, or nationally. It will progressively shift our behaviors towards more progressive behavior. It'll lead to the demystification of the structure of institutionalized and organizational racism, and especially when it comes to the regards of white supremacy, considering the state of our nation that is currently in, and ultimately to inspire actions to dismantle these hurtful and harmful systems that not only hurt the people that work for the systems who are part of the minority and marginalized communities, but also the people who those systems are supposed to be working for. So I know that I'll send Asma the link so that it could be put on our website. I'm pretty sure it's on the Revere City Hall website, but if not, it's going to be under the Human Rights Commission website as well. Does anyone have any comments, any questions, or anything to say about the 21-day racial equity challenge before we move on? No. Go ahead, Director.
So I just wanted to add that anyone can participate, as the chairwoman mentioned. It starts April 7th. You can sign up as an individual or an organization. Believe it or not, there are thousands of organizations and individuals who signed up, but Revere's there's only a dozen of communities throughout the Commonwealth who signed up and took the challenge, and the city of Revere is one of them, so I'm proud to say that. Some of the, also part of the challenge is you can also go on the website and they provide you with toolkits for group education discussions, as far as how to raise awareness, how to shift understanding and inspire actions toward dismantling racism, and food equity as well. So it's something you should take a look at, even if you're not eager to sign up for. Go on the Food Solution New England website, just Google it, and type in 21-day racial equity habit building, and it will pop up. Just do some research if you're curious.
Thank you very much, Director. Before we move on to the next agenda item, any additional comments, regards? Awesome. For our main topic of discussion for the night is just discussing and breaking down the overarching environment that is happening in regards to the immigration crisis that's happening in our city and happening in the country, and things that we've seen personally in our own city. I know that there have been a variety of incidents in Revere, one of which took place right next to me in Shirley Avenue, in regards to a young Latino man who was a construction worker, and he was taken by the ICE organization. I know that there has been a lot that I only know of that one only because it's close proximity to me, and I have issues regarding that only because I come from an immigrant family, so the proximity scares me a lot. But the fact that there has been a lot of different incidents throughout Revere regarding people taking from ICE is something that is not only devastating and it's a travesty, but it ultimately fear-mongers. It's not only fear-mongering, it's like people are overly scared. Even people who are actual citizens of the United States are scared of being taken and deported, which brings in a whole other issue. So I would like to open discussion up to that. I know everyone else has seen incidents, so I would like people to talk about that and really bring it to light. I will give the mic off to Commissioner Pitch.
Thank you, Chair Hosseini. I want to give a message to survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault, stalking, that please seek help if you're experiencing any domestic violence, sexual assault, or stalking. Call Harbor Cove. Don't be afraid to call us. We are not reporting anyone to the police department or ICE organization. We want to make sure that you are safe at home. We want to make sure that you get the support that you need. So I just want to give that message to the whole community. Don't hesitate to call our hotline, and our hotline is 617-884-9909 for any domestic violence incident. If you need any help and support, looking for a safe place to go, a shelter, please don't hesitate. Or any consultation. If you don't know what to do, we have staff 24 hours answering that crisis hotline. So please, please feel free to connect with us. I know that a lot of the people are so afraid, and at the same time, we have been receiving nonstop calls from our community asking for support, not just for domestic violence, sexual assaults, and others, but some other issue that they are looking for the support for, and then there are many resources. And I am so privileged and honored to sit next to community leaders, Commissioner Attorney McGee, who's go above and beyond. I cannot thank you enough, Attorney. We had such a successful case today, and it was gonna make me cry. I am so emotional with this case, and I'm so thankful all the work that you have been doing and supporting immigrants community and immigrant survivors of domestic violence that we serve, and other as well. So I want you to know that, and thank you for standing up for the community.
Right back at you, Commissioner Pitch. And it is an honor to work alongside Harbor Cove and have you here constantly uplifting the voices of those who can't speak right now. Thank you for calling in survivors of domestic violence to continue to report and seek help and services. The same goes for schools, doctors' offices. As a parent in Revere, since January 20th, there are less parents dropping their kids off outside the Lincoln Elementary School, and there are less people on the streets where there is a police presence, regardless if it's a resource officer for the school. In times like these, I could sit here and talk about immigration like I do all day, that this is what I do for work. But on a personal level, when you look for the helpers, people and organizations like Harbor Cove, and truly speaking about being moved to tears, I could be moved to tears right here in this meeting about the teachers in Revere that didn't need any administration to tell them what to do, and they knew what to do, and they stood up for their student that was detained on his way to high school, and they got together in their off hours between classes before school. And Robin Matarazzo, when you were homesick and you're talking to me, I think with the flu or pneumonia, and that's what gets people back to their communities. It's not always the families that they're born into, it's the families that they become a part of. And it's really a beautiful thing to be a part of that here in Revere.
Thank you very much, Attorney McGee and Commissioner Pitch. I think before I move on to anyone else, I do want to acknowledge in regards to victims of domestic violence and sexual assault that April is also Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So I do, especially people of the community in the media community, to reach out to Harbor Cove and search for those and have access to those resources in regards to sexual assault and domestic violence. I will get those lists of resources, phone numbers, and all that regarding domestic violence and sexual assault from Commissioner Pitch and put that on the website just so it's readily available rather than for people going out of the way and searching them up themselves. I just want to make that point clear. I'll pass on the mic to another commissioner. Go ahead, Dr. Garcia.
So for me, I just want to show solidarity with our families and our students as well, many of our students and families that are going through some difficult times during this time. Obviously, we are navigating complex times in this country, and certainly we have a lot of issues that we have to work on, and we have to work through, let's put it that way. So I just want to thank all the administrators of Riviera Public Schools. Sometimes people on the side don't see and don't realize what's happening in our schools. And there's a lot of distorted message that goes out. And, and there's a lot of work being done behind the scenes that people don't see. I have been in this position for quite some time, especially this year. I've seen it, I witnessed it, and I myself was engaged in disseminating information to all principals coming from the Attorney General's office, putting the safeguard in place. We have not at least got any incident of arrest in our school systems. And I would say that schools is the safest place for you to be. Parents, if you listen to me now, I just want to pass this message to you. Send your children to school because that's the safest place your children can be right now. So for me, it's just not a matter of putting my voice out there, it's to work behind the scenes to make sure that our children are safe. So I will continue to work and devote myself to my very best to work with the superintendents, with principals, with administrative directors, parents, families, through the workshops that we provide in the evening, that we do for our families. They show up in mass to attend, to the cards that we have distributed to all social workers and families in our schools to pass to our parents. So those are all actions. So through some policies that are coming from above, those are the actions we're engaging. So to me, I think the school department should be congratulated for the work that has been done to make sure that our families, our students are safe. And I tell you that with certainty, and that I will continue that journey. My journey is not making a lot of noise out there. And I think that the same journey goes for the mayor and for the superintendent of schools. That's what we've been doing, engaging in behind-the-scenes work to make sure that our families are safe. So I encourage families, students to come up to our schools, to attend our schools. That's the best place you can be right now. Most of you spend about 7-8 hours in our school system. And we have guidance counselors, we have teachers, we have a lot of other people supporting them. So I just want to make sure that people understand that, because sometimes there's a lot of messages out there, distorted message and misconstrued message that's out there that I will not support, I will not condemn. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Garcia. Go ahead, Vice Chair.
Dr. Garcia, thank you again for your good work that you're doing at this school and the school Riviera. I really, really appreciate that. And then I think it's something myself, as an immigrant, I live in the city for quite a few years now. What I saw happening in this country, it's unbelievable. And then I felt like kind of that our brothers and sisters, I'm talking to Haitian people that currently probably watching now, since this thing's been going on about like kind of the chaos that's been, people been panicking. Myself, as a community leaders, I've been attending like kind of churches. Some friends been calling me about like kind of panicking about like kind of the people who can enter in this country. You have like kind of over 300,000 Haitian. It came on the a Biden program. Those people now on by April 24th, there is an order from the President Trump exercise a power like kind of to deport these people to go back to Haiti. And then, as you may know, Haiti is in a tough situation now. The gang is all over, taking all over the country now. 90% of the capitals occupied by the gangs. So these people will not be able like kind of to go back. So today I was at the nursing home talking to several members, been going to the hospital, talking to people, and then thanks to Dr. Garcia, he provide me some nose yogurt, some like kind of that I can handle to those people. They were very glad that they got this information, asked them to put them in the wallet if they were stopped by the police, so they can show that. And then if like kind of ICE going to the house, you know, what to say, like kind of they should know the rights, you know, how like kind of to approach ICE. This is a troubling time in this country now. And then, you know, as a leader in this country and the city, I think I have to work harder to make sure like kind of we educated like kind of our community, especially the Haitian community. It's not only Haitian community that we talk to. I talk like to Spanish people. Many of these people, they're on the same boat with some Haitian people. So all we can do now is to continue like kind of to make sure we be there for these people, to make sure like kind of we advise these people, to make sure like kind of any information they can get. So if people wants to contact me, they can contact me. Any Haitian like kind of watching this show now, if they want, they can contact me at my phone number, so we can make sure like kind of that we provide like kind of any assistance like kind of they may need. And then thank you again for Attorney Mali. I know you've been working like kind of very hard in this situation, and then to see any help like kind of you can provide any Haitian, any like kind of other group people who probably like kind of having has to deal with like kind of deportation. It's very good like kind of that you in this community, and then you're part of this community like kind of, and then that's something like kind of I appreciate. And then cool, I know you're doing some hard work too, especially with the domestic violence. Believe me, I kind of you put in a lot of work to this, and then I congratulate you for all this kind of work you're doing. Thank you again.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Go ahead, Dr. Garcia, and then DEI Director.
So I just want to congratulate Attorney McGee for the successful case that she handled today. That's great. I more or less have been apprised on that. So to you, Karu, I truly appreciate your help in terms of sharing resources with us that were so critical, so important to our families. And actually, the cards I gave to Herbie I think it was yesterday. Certainly, it was a fruit of collaboration and partnership that exists between Revere Public Schools and Harbor Cove. So I truly appreciate your help.
Thank you, Dr. Garcia. Go ahead, Director.
Thank you. Immigration and deportation are complex issues that intertwine with what we do, human rights, right? You know, though it's important to follow policy and uphold the rule of law, we have to keep in mind that our communities and the people in our communities need to know that you need to know your rights. As we mentioned, we have an attorney, Molly McGee, if you need immigration advice, to reach out. She's right here in Revere, right on Broadway. While ensuring like people are treated with dignity, respect, being valued, we can't forget the very principle that we all live for. We all deserve to be treated with basic human rights. And because these impact our families and our communities. And at the end of the day, we want them to know there's an avenue. You're not alone. There are resources. We have, if you want to know your rights, you can go on the Department of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion's website. You can also, the City of Revere's library also has some informational cards on Know Your Rights as well. So reach out to me directly if you have any questions. S. Morabito, Morabito, @revere.org, and you will not be ignored. I will return your email as soon as I can.
Thank you very much, Director. I think in the topic of resources that are being provided in the community, I would like to display some that we have here right now. I don't know if the camera can come closer, but this is a basically Know Your Rights card. It basically it comes in 5 different languages, including English, Arabic, Spanish, Portuguese, and Haitian Creole. Show that if a officer does come to your establishment, whether it be at home, whether it be in the streets, whether it be at a business, show this to them, and ultimately this is a way to protect yourself. On top of this, I know that you can find these cards all across Revere. If not, I will provide the HRC website with like cutouts of basically the same card, but it's like if you don't have access to the card, you could print this out at home and carry this around with you. I know it's only in English here, but I will provide with additional translations for the 5 languages that it comes in on the HRC website, so that it's readily available for people on there as well. I will pass this around just so if people don't already know. Another thing is the, if you could, yes, is the ICE worksite raid, employer rights and responsibilities. This is if you were approached by an ICE officer or ICE officers in your business or establishment. This is things are like basically guidelines of things that you're supposed to do and things that protect you as a business owner. So I will definitely put this on the website as well for your review, and print this out as well, just so you could have that in your establishment. And then lastly, I know everyone has seen this, the Know Your Rights. It's basically very similar to the card, but this is provided by MURA, which is an organization in Massachusetts that revolves around immigration crisis. It lists out all the things that regard to you as your rights as an individual and ways to protect yourself. So I'll also provide that on the website as well. I think I'll start from here and just pass it on. But I know these are all resources that everyone in the commission has agreed upon to disseminate in the Human Rights Commission, as well as people from City Hall to disseminate amongst the population of Revere. I also do want to make it clear that, especially with the rise of social media, but how heavily social media is integrated with this information. Be careful of all the information that you're getting from the internet. Not everything is accurate. Make sure that you're visiting government websites. Make sure that you're getting accurate information, so that not only are you protecting yourself, but you're protecting the people around you. You don't want to get in trouble simply because of misinformation. This is just like a general discretion from anything regarding the things that we say or bring up in the meeting, is that make sure you know where you're getting your facts, make sure that your facts are correct, and if you are disseminating that information amongst the community, make sure that they're accurate, so that not only do you protect yourself, you protect the people around you. Just moving on from there, does anyone have anything to add? Go ahead, Director.
I just want to piggyback on what you were saying about the organization MEDA, which stands for Massachusetts Immigrant and Refugee Advocacy Coalition. Their website is MIRA Coalition, that's MIRACOALITION.org. and you can get a bunch of resources from this as well. So if you have a friend, family member, neighbor who's concerned, you can also get the documentation in litany of languages as well. I also wanted to circle back to what our chairwoman was discussing earlier about what happened at Shirley Ave. I have some brief information of the context of what occurred and who was involved. So there was an incident on Shirley Ave, if I can find it on my paperwork somewhere, which involved Department of Homeland Security and the Bureau of ATF, what's it stand for? Firearms, I'm going backwards here. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. There we go. Everything is acronyms these days. But so that what they did, the federal government did a seize, and they confiscated over 100 firearms. And what originated in Everett, a few of the people who were detained and arrested were in the Shirley Ave area. So just to let you know what happened.
I can not speak very much because of attorney-client privilege, but I can let you know that there have been individuals that are identified as collateral damage that are arrested by ICE throughout communities in Massachusetts, and Revere has not been immune to this. And what that means is kind of like what Director Morbido was saying, but I have no idea about that. That's not my clients from Revere. If there's a warrant for someone, and when you're on your job executing that warrant, you see someone else who you'd like to arrest, you can do that if you can come up with a reason to do it. For example, if they don't have legal status in this country, regardless of if they have a criminal record. And so that has also been happening.
Thank you very much, Attorney McGee. Go ahead, Commissioner Pitch.
I just change to domestic violence and sexual assault survivor. I also want to specifically mention that if you are a survivor who are immigrant and part of the LGBTQ community, please seek out support. Harbor Cove will support anyone who identify as a survivor of domestic violence. Who's been harmed. So please, specifically for LGBTQ community, don't hesitate. I know it's the current climate is not friendly, but we want to make sure we assure you that we'll fully support you if you need any support.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Pitch. For the resources that I've shown to the public, I know that there are places to get these cards, that you could find these cards specifically throughout the city. I just want to confirm from the people of the commission, like if people want a physical copy of like the red card that I just showed to the community, where can people go to get it? And yeah, basically.
The Revere Public Library has them. They're also on the website, but if you want a physical card, we have them at the library.
That is great to know. Always love a public library for the resources that they have. Sometimes these red cards are a little hard to come by. Myself, as a private immigration attorney, I've tried to come by them in bulk so that I can distribute them to my clients. Thank you to Harbor Cove for the collaboration that you were able to provide me with them so that I can continue to disseminate them within my community. I am recommending to clients that cannot acquire a hard copy that they keep a photo on their phone, and if you have access to print it out, you can also print it out from Google in your own language and in in English, so that you can understand what the person who's reading it in English is reading.
Thank you very much, Director and Attorney Molly McGee. Just to reiterate what I said before, all the printed out versions of the card, as well as the rights for business owners, and the Know Your Rights for general individuals will all be found and on the HRC website, especially the cutout version, the one that you could print out and cut out. That will also be provided on the HRC website, so you could go on there as well for access. Does anyone any additional remarks? Oh, go ahead, Director.
Commissioner Mali, I know you probably have a better idea than me. Do we know, it's for the public, for the viewer that probably watching the commissioner now, do we know how many people that ICE has been arrested in Rivera so far?
I don't.
Okay.
I would imagine that we divide it into two groups, people that they have warrants for and people that they don't have warrants for. Generally speaking, everybody can stand behind criminal immigrants being detained. So anybody with a criminal record or contact with law enforcement gets grouped into one group. And then all other people we call collateral, or just people that have no contact with law enforcement, are grouped in another. And I think the latter group that I'm speaking about is the one that we pay most attention to, that seems most unjust, that they would be detained and removed from our communities and our families.
Thank you, Vice Chair, and thank you, Attorney McGee. I'm going to pass the mic off to Director.
Through you to Attorney McGee, maybe you can go into brief detail, if to those who are watching, if someone is stopped by ICE, or if it's such a quick exchange and they don't have time to take out their card, what is your suggestion? How do they go about doing that? If a raid of enforcement officers are coming at them, how are they going to just whip out their card? They don't have the time to say a word sometimes. So I guess my question is, maybe you can give some quick legal advice as, like, do you recommend having a screenshot on your phone? Like, what do you have, to be prepared and ready, what do you suggest? Because from what I've seen on cameras, it's such a rapid exchange that people don't even have a moment to acknowledge what's going on. So,
such valid points, Director Morabito, and that's why we say really know your rights. And so it's not just about carrying around a card on you that you have no idea what the contents are. It's knowing your basic rights. So that's, do you have to give your name? Do you have to identify yourself? Are you engaged in illegal or unlawful activity for which there is a lawful right to stop and detain you? That's usually where I start with my clients, as I say, when engaging with law enforcement or officials of the public, we always want to start with being respectful and being cautious, being professional. You would want to keep your red card or your Know Your Rights card near your ID so that you would advise the officer, I'm going to reach for my ID to provide it to you. And if you're unable to do that, just from what you know from the card, do you have a warrant for my arrest is the big one. Do you have a paper? Do you have a document on you with my name? Is there somebody besides the officer in front of me that has told you to come here, that somebody wants me in jail? Otherwise, you could be what we call collateral, that you are being arrested and detained because there is a warrant for someone else's arrest. And this is what's changed. This is what changes politically in our country, depending on who's president. And again, maintaining your composure, being calm, being respectful is always going to be helpful. And it may be that until later you get to call a lawyer when you get that one phone call. And I would say try to have somebody's number ready or have a family member ready to call that can get you to speak with a lawyer.
thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Attorney McGee. Oh, go ahead, Commissioner Pitch.
Thank you, Chair Hosseini. Attorney McGee and also other commissioners, do we have specific, I know we utilize Attorney McGee for everything. Do we have any other attorneys that the community can reach out to? Is there any 24 hours, like attorney hotline that immigrants, people can have access? Because not everybody knows who to speak with or where to start with, right? When you are in a panic, especially like if you don't speak the language, and I can assume they don't know what to do. I cannot imagine it's like everybody already has a plan for it. So if we can put together those information and have it available, that an attorney or attorneys will respond when the community access them, that will be great.
Thank you for bringing this up, Commissioner Pitch, and this is a plug for all of the American citizens that are out there. There's no guaranteed right to counsel in immigration court, and that goes for adults and children. So to Commissioner Pitch's point, there's a shortage of immigration attorneys, and there's a shortage of individuals that are licensed to practice immigration law that are doing so in the courts, because it's very frustrating and it's discouraging. And now the president and the White House are making direct attacks on immigration attorneys and the practice of law and the cases that we submit. So voting is really important in state and local elections, also in our federal elections that will come up every 4 years. But this is really what happens when we can't picture the micro or the small local level changes that are going to happen when big sweeping political reforms take place. So we would, if you can, say donating to organizations like the Immigration Legal Access Council or the Massachusetts Immigration Legal Access Network. These are organizations that are making counsel available to the most marginalized immigrants, and that's always going to be children and individuals with disabilities that are either detained or in imminent removal harm. Again, we in Massachusetts very much live in a bubble, and I work and do advocacy work here, and I always want to make it better. But compared to states to our west, states to our north, states to our south, we are in such a different position with funding in non-government organizations and nonprofits such as Harbor Cove and organizations throughout Massachusetts. So doing a little bit of research and donating, getting involved in your local communities. There are organizations such as Harbor Cove stepping up for students and people in the communities, Chelsea, East Boston, and Revere. There are things that we can do in our local communities to make a difference for our neighbors and the parents and families of the kids our kids go to school with.
Thank you very much, Attorney McGee. I'm going to pass the mic off to Dr. Garcia.
Yeah, thank you. So, there are some organizations, like, for example, I think MIRA has been mentioned here. I personally invited MIRA to come and provide a session for our families in the afternoon to talk about their rights. So it was well attended, actually, a session. We have doing that for quite some time. We did it last year, we did, this year. There's also immigration helpline that you can call. There's a number that you can call. You can also, that number is 508-293-1871. There's also training that MIRA, I can repeat that number again, 508-293-1871. There's also training that MIRA provides for families. Those trainings actually, they are held online, virtual. Families can attend those trainings. There's one that just took place on March 25th. So you can go to the MIRA website. You will see all the resources and training dates, the other information that probably can be useful to you. So there are some resources out there. Obviously, considering probably the amount of support and help that people are looking for, they might go. Our system is rigid. Let's put it that way. We cannot say it in any other way. It's rigid. There's a lot of institutional barriers that people have to go through. That's one thing we have to acknowledge, especially during these times. Obviously, there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of unscrupulous people that are preying on immigrants that for money or for other types of things, just to basically serving and selling the lip service. So we got to be mindful about those things and very careful about those things. And talking about the Know Your Rights card, it's not just a matter of handling those cards. In my view, I'm not an attorney, but it's a matter of sitting with a client or the person you handling the card and explain what that card is all about and some of the things that are on the card for them to really memorize it or to learn it. That's the reason why it's on both languages. You have it in English on one part of the card, on the second, on the reverse side of the card, you'll find a different language. So it's a matter of not just handling the card, but also taking the time to educate the person that those are some fundamental rights they have. And they need to know how to answer those questions if they ever come up, or if they were detained, or and things like that. So that's my understanding. I could be wrong. That's the way we've been passing those cards. We have our family liaisons passing those cards in our schools, and that's the proceedings that we have, outlined for them. So that's the way it's been done.
Thank you very much, Dr. Garcia. I think with all things being said, for anyone in the city of Revere, and of course beyond the city of Revere, go on the HRC website, and not right now, but as soon as we upload them, and have that information on hand. Make sure you understand them, especially since they do come in different languages. It is a lot more easier to disseminate that information to a wide variety of different populations. Like I mentioned before, at the same time, with the immense amount of resources I put in quotations, because of there is the spreading of misinformation, especially with the rising of fear-mongering, where people are being told that their cities are going to be raided. Their cities are going to be raided without an official without an official, what's the word? I've heard from a lot of people that different cities have been told that they're going to be raided by ICE, but it turns out that it wasn't, that nothing actually happened. So really make sure you know where your information is coming from. Make sure that it's coming from highly reliable sources. And, if there's someone who that isn't watching our meetings, or doesn't really understand due to a variety of different barriers, knowing this information, if you're someone who understands what's going on, make sure that you disseminate that information to people who need it, just so we not only protect ourselves, but protect our others. The whole point of the Human Rights Commission is to make sure that everyone to make sure that everyone knows exactly what they need to do in order to protect themselves, and it's our job to send that information so that you have the ability to do so. I know there isn't anything else on the agenda other than open forum. So does anyone have any other remarks or any comments regarding everything that we've talked about today?
Thank you,
Go ahead,
Chair.
Vice Chair.
I just want to add, and then Attorney Malley, you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, what I learned. Some of, when ICE went to people's house, and then they opened the door, so what ICE have done, so they put their foot right against the door. So what happened, some people, if you try to pull the door, to close the door, they will say that you attack them physically. So now they will be able to go inside, to arrest you, because you are. So what people suggested, if ICE they went to your house, if ICE you open the door, So they put their foot against the door, is to like kind of let them speak, and then you go back inside your house, said like kind of you don't have your warrant, and then until they left, and then you go, you close your door. Otherwise, by moving the door, there could be some kind of retaliation against you. I just wanna say that.
Yes. Yes, that's a very good point. There's a lot there that we could talk about. As a criminal defense attorney and as an immigration attorney, you definitely don't want to be caught with resisting arrest. So a Ring doorbell camera may be something that people want to have now. It's cheap front door surveillance that is visible from the entrance of your house that would probably deter any type of negative interactions with trying to get into your property. One thing that I've spoken about in the Latino community in La Hora del Café, where there is a lot of resources as well on broadcasting throughout Boston. If you live in a multifamily dwelling and there's a common area, it's a good time to speak with your neighbors about not letting strangers into the house and not letting ICE agents into the general common areas of your building, because that is a way to gain access to the house and then later your apartment. We do live in a large multifamily city. So being cognizant of that for your neighbors as well, speaking to people that are your neighbors that don't talk to the people that live above them or below them, looking out for your neighbors, that if you aren't feeling their tension, you're not aware of it because it's there, and people really could use a hand from their neighbor right now.
Thank you very much, Attorney McGee. Before we move on to the adjournment of the meeting, any additional comments, concerns? No, sir.
I just want to.
Yeah, go ahead, Dr.
Very
Garcia.
quick. I just want our community to, in light of everything that has been said here, and, I want to send a message of courage, and also a message of determination, thinking that they are not alone in this community. There are a lot of good people, and certainly these commissioners that we have all here talking about these issues. It means that we do care. There's so much that we can push the envelope, but that envelope will continue to be pushed. And our message for you is for you to be strong and to continue to be strong. You have allies in the community. Whenever there is an issue that really is affecting you, or some of the things affecting you, you have attorneys in the community, you have school districts, you have the city hall that you can call, you have members that are here talking about all these issues. That means a lot, and certainly it shows that we do care. I myself am an immigrant, so when I hear things like that, it knocks very closely to me. I'm an immigrant, and I have a lot of family members who are also immigrants. So for me, it's a personal issue. It's a personal matter. So and I take it very close. So I just want to make sure that you understand that we're here for you, and whenever there is new information, new resources, new ways of dealing with things, support, workshop, training, just to make sure you're safe, we will be here for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Garcia. And I guess a similar message to those who are allies to the people who are going through this crisis, to know that, as American citizens, we do have the privilege to say that, or maybe it might happen. We have the privilege to say that this crisis doesn't necessarily apply to us only because we're American citizens, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't be helping those who are actively going through this situation. As someone who is an American citizen, I have immigrant parents. Whether you're the fact that you're an American citizen means that at one point in your genealogy, whether it be immediate, whether it be generations ago, that at one point your family was indeed an immigrant. You would not be here in the United States if your family wasn't an immigrant. We have this discussion all the time, every year in November, regarding Columbus Day, how the white population that makes up the Revere ultimately came from proud Italian immigrants that came here and built their lives up. The people who are going through this, that we've seen being affected actively, such as the Latino and the African American community, are basically the same thing as the Italian immigrants a long time ago. They came here to start a new life, to look for better opportunities. So why not give the same care and love to them as we approach the Italian and the Irish immigrants that happened a long time ago. They were in the same position. So I believe that, yes, I know that something that we've seen throughout the history, not throughout the history, but things that we've seen in our society is that people are actively going against these immigrants, even though they don't realize that the reason why they're there is because of immigrants who are in the same position. So just be aware of that. If it isn't you now, then similar situations happened back then where people were actively trying to get rid of Italian and Irish immigrants, whether that be in the city of Revere or nationally. And this is something that, like I mentioned, we've discussed multiple times every year in November in regards to Columbus Day. So, be there for your friends, be there for your families, and just know that we are one community in the religion of Islam. And when one person hurts, we all hurt. It doesn't matter how you look like, it doesn't matter what language you speak, it doesn't matter what religion you are. The fact that people that don't look like me are being hurt means that in some way is hurting me, and it's my job, it's our job to be there for our people, especially considering the fact that we have the privilege of being here. If a lot of people who didn't have that privilege would be scared to be in City Hall simply because what if they get detained? What if they get arrested? What if they get taken away from their families? We have the privilege of being here to a certain extent, in which we're not afraid to be here because we wouldn't suffer the same consequences as someone else. So to the allies out there, please know your friends, know your family, protect them. Even though they're not in the same position as you, it's your job. It's your right as a privileged American citizen to extend a helping hand. So I know I went on a very long, elaborate tangent, but the point is that's the point. Thank you very much, everyone. I know it's very, very long and lengthy and necessary discussion, something that we should have talked about since the whole thing started, but I'm glad that we're doing it now, and these conversations will continue on for as long as these issues are still arise. For those who need the information, like I've mentioned, and I'll reiterate again, all of this information will be posted on the HRC website for easy access. And if you do have any questions, any comments, any concerns, you can reach out to us directly through the HRC website as well. We do have an open forum. I know that we have a fellow guest in the audience. I know this is your opportunity to come here and speak your mind. You got 3 minutes. Whatever you want. Go ahead. You can use the whole 3 minutes. Of course.
You just have to hit the button with the person on it.
There we go. Thank you for allowing me to come and sit and take.
Sorry, just please state your name, address. Is it also phone number? Name and address, please, and then continue on from there.
Yep. No, I'm Albert Tecci. I live at 197 Cushman Ave here in Revere. Actually spent most of my 43 years here in Revere, so I've seen a lot of changes in the community, and I'm really, from this discussion that you've allowed me to come and watch today, really energized and excited for having people in the community looking out for each other. When I hear the work that Attorney McGee is doing and Commissioner Pitch is doing with their communities, it's energizing, it's exciting. And then when I hear about the work being done at the schools, I really appreciate it. I think when you see what's happening at some school systems where RAIDs are allowed to come into the school systems. I myself, I'm a trained therapist. I'm a marriage and family therapist. It doesn't just affect the kid whose parents or the child that is under attack. Every child in that school is affected. And when they feel like they're in danger, they're not going to learn. As I'm sure you know, Dr. Garcia, when we have those annual gun trainings or whatever, right? There's always more kids calling out sick the days after. There's a loss of learning the days after, because when we feel like we're being attacked, when we have fear, parts of our brain shut off. So that's what's happening for kids right now, whether you're Black, whether you're Latino, or whether you're just a grandson of an Italian immigrant like me. When you see that your community is in danger, when your friend might not be there the next day, you can't learn. So I really appreciate the work that you're doing in keeping our schools safe. It's at least 8 hours a day where somebody has a place to be. Thank you, Chairperson, for your work, and Vice Chairperson for your work also. I'm really excited for what's happening here in Revere and the support that everyone's given each other. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time today. It doesn't seem like anyone else is in the audience, and I would request for someone to push a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Madam Chair.
Second.
All in agreement, say aye.
Aye.
All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. For those at home, thank you very much for joining us today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.